Hi everyone, thanks for joining us for today's Teaching Kitchen, where we'll be making red lentil squash soup with lemon. I'm Ashley and this is Anna, and we are dietetic interns with NL Health Services.
Before we get started, let's touch on some food safety basics. If you have long hair, tie it back so that it's out of the way to avoid any hair falling into your food. Next is to make sure to wash your hands and then sanitize your workstation and equipment. I'll also be using a cut glove today on my left hand, which is my non-dominant hand, to help prevent it from any little slips or trips from the knife. I'll also be wearing a disposable glove over top to avoid any cross-contamination. Lastly, I placed a damp kitchen towel underneath my cutting board, which is a great way to keep it from sliding around on the countertop while I'm chopping.
We are going to prepare a flavorful one-pot soup that can be an easy recipe to put together. Today we will need a yellow onion, garlic, ginger, oil, harissa, ground coriander, ground cumin, ground turmeric, salt, pepper, vegetable broth, butternut squash, dried red lentils, carrots, lemon juice, sliced almonds, and parsley. Harissa is a hot chili pepper paste that has a smoky, peppery flavor and can bring out the flavors of the other ingredients. It can range in levels of heat, so feel free to add more or less depending on your spice preference. For the equipment today, we will need a large pot, blender, knife, cutting board, mixing spoon, towel, and measuring cups and spoons. Let's get prepping. Let's start by peeling and mincing the garlic. To start, break the entire bulb into individual cloves with your hands. Then with the knife, blade facing away from you, gently press down to loosen the peel, and then remove the peel with your fingers. Now we're going to cut it into very thin slices, and I'm going to hold my hand in a claw position to help protect my fingers from the knife. And then we're going to chop very fine all the way through the clove of garlic, and repeat with all the other cloves. Now we're going to rock the knife over the finely chopped garlic to mince it into even smaller pieces.
Next, we'll be placing our large pot on the stovetop and turning the heat to medium-high. We'll be adding oil and giving it some time to heat up. Next, we're going to add the onions, the minced garlic, and allow to cook while stirring continuously for 6 to 8 minutes. Then add the ginger, harissa, spices, and salt and pepper. Cook, stirring constantly until fragrant. Next, add the broth. Carrots. Lentils. And squash. Reduce heat to medium-low and simmer until lentils are tender. This should take about 20 minutes.
One of the reasons this red lentil soup is such a great recipe is because it is a good source of plant protein. Plant-based protein foods can provide more fiber and less saturated fat than other types of protein foods. You can easily incorporate these foods into any recipe. For example, try swapping out lean ground beef for black beans in a burrito, or using half-beaned, half-lean ground beef. Many imitation meat products can be highly processed and add excess sodium or saturated fat to your diet, so it's best to limit these foods.
Another great thing about this recipe is that you can use frozen vegetables to make the soup. This recipe calls for butternut squash and carrots. We don't always have access to fresh vegetables, but that's okay because frozen are just as nutritious. Some of the benefits of using frozen vegetables are it saves time because the washing and cutting are already done for you. Frozen vegetables won't go bad as fast as fresh vegetables, so there is less food being wasted or thrown away. Frozen vegetables usually cost less than fresh vegetables. To sum up, this recipe is a great source of plant-based protein and can be a budget-friendly, heart-healthy meal.
Now transfer half the mixture to a blender. Feel free to skip this step if you do not have a blender. Make sure to remove the centerpiece of the blender lid to allow the steam to escape, and secure the lid on the blender. Then place a clean towel on top. And process until smooth, about 1 minute. And repeat with the other half of the mixture. To finish off, pour the soup into serving bowls and top with some extra oil, almonds, and parsley. So we've got some oil, some sliced almonds, and some parsley. So good.
Thank you for joining us in today's session. If you make this recipe at home, feel free to take a picture to share with your friends and family. Post on social media as well if you like to show off your skills. Use the #TeachingKitchens to accompany your posts so we can see it as well. Thank you for following along and have a great day.